Hello, today we're going to make a beautiful flower bouquet using some texture rubbing techniques. We've been looking at the work of Vincent van Gogh and we've seen that his artwork has beautiful texture in it. You see, he painted really thick with the paint, so it looked like his paintings were rough in parts and smooth in parts. So today we're going to try getting some texture by rubbing. Here's a great picture of some sunflowers that a student painted from the book Vincent van Gogh's Cat. I have Vincent van Gogh's actual painting of sunflowers over here for us to look at. We know his favorite color was yellow, so we're going to use yellow for the background, and we'll use yellow in our work a lot today, but we're going to start with a white sheet of paper. This thick art paper is great for texture rubbings, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to use some different texture rubbing templates. This is one that is a sunflower, and I have lots of different flowers to use, so you might only want to do one sunflower and then trade with your friend and get their flower. Maybe they have a rose, like this one is a rose, so you can do at least 4 flowers. Let's see how this is going to work. Put your texture plate underneath your art paper and make sure you can feel the whole flower. So I'm putting mine right there on the corner and then pressing down and holding it down. Then you can use your crayon to rub on top of it and get the picture of the flower. Make sure your paper doesn't move. Hey, that turned out wonderful. Now I could do a couple more sunflowers, but I want to try some different flowers. So I'm going to put this one back in the tray for my table and take out another flower like this beautiful rose. And when you rub, don't let it move. You get a beautiful picture of a rose. Let's do 4 flowers. I'm going to do 4 different ones. I'm going to trade and put this one back in the tray at my table. And I'm going to get out another flower. I'll put it in this corner and use the side of my crayon. I always use the side of it for texture rubbings to carefully rub the flower design. I'm not pressing down with the tip of my crayon, and I'm not pressing so hard that it pushes in my paper and tears it. Oh, that turned out beautiful. I'm going to put that back in the tray, and I'll get one more flower and I'll put it under this corner. Every one of these flowers that I'm doing, I'm making sure that the ridged side pushes up. And then I'll put that back. So I have 4 different flowers now. They're all outlined in orange, like in Vincent van Gogh's Sunflower. They all have orange edges. But now you can come back with yellow and color them in yellow. Go around in each one of those leaves and color it in really well. Now my flowers are all finished. I think they turned out beautiful. I'm ready to do my background. I'm going to use a yellow sheet of paper since Vincent van Gogh's favorite colors were yellow. I'll set my flowers aside because I'm going to glue those on in just a minute. But first, I want to use my brown crayon to create the vase and to create the table. So here's what I'll do. I'll use this brown crayon and I'm going to do two curved lines like this. Curve, curve. Those are the sides of my vase. Now I'm going to do two more curved lines in a different direction. Curve, curve. So as you can see, it looks like a cup, but it's my flower vase. And I want to give it some texture. I want to make it look rough. But first what I want to do is show everybody where the table is. So I'm going to do a horizontal line and a horizontal line. And that's my table in the background. Hopefully you can see how it looks like Vincent van Gogh's picture. So just like we rubbed all of our flowers with texture, I've got some different kinds of texture rubbing plates we can use for the other parts of our artwork too. So I'm going to use this very fun one right here for my vase. You may use a different one for yours. I'm going to put it on the table and then put my vase right on top of it so I can feel it underneath the vase, and it's going to be everywhere where I'm about to rub. Then I use the side of my crayon to carefully rub. I want to stay in my vase design that I already drew and press down on my paper so this does not move. I don't want that rubbing plate to move around underneath my drawing. I'm making sure I stay right there in my vase. Oh, I love it. Turned out so good. Good, so there's my vase. Now I'm going to put my texture rubbing plate away, and I'm going to pick out a different one. I think I'm going to use this one for the table. This one right here. It's going to give me a different texture, but same thing. I just put it down, and I put my paper on top, and I press down so it does not move. This time I'm going to use my orange crayon to do a tablecloth. Oh, I like all those bumps that it's showing me. So I'm trying not to get on my vase. I just want this texture on the tablecloth. Always using the side of my crayon. Oh, I like the way that turned out. And now I have one more that I'm going to use for the background. Maybe like the wallpaper in his room. And there's my background. I'm going to put all my texture rubbing plates back. And I have 4 flowers, so I'm going to do 4 different vines. I'll just use my green crayon and do a wavy line to come up here for one of my flowers. A wavy line to go over there for a flower. I'm going to do a wavy line here for one of my flowers and one more wavy line up here. It's going to be a beautiful bouquet of flowers. If you want to give them some leaves, you can too. And I just do that by doing a curve and a curve. You don't have to have leaves on yours, but most flowers, when you see them in a pot like this, have a few leaves on them. And next, I just need to glue down my flowers. Let me arrange them so I can see what it's going to look like. Here's my rose. Here's my sunflower. And let's see, I think I'll put this pink one on this side and this other yellow one up here. So it's a really beautiful bouquet of flowers. I want to try to keep them all on the paper though. So let me scoot them in a little bit. And now let's glue them down. Just twist up your glue stick a very small amount and rub the glue on the back. And then let's press it down. It's okay if your flowers overlap. My flowers overlap a little bit right there. That looks great. The last thing we need to do is add our name. So down here at the bottom is where you'll sign your name. I can't wait to see how yours turns out.